I'm not that guy that is whining about bad animations, but what the f is going on? Let's talk about Blue Lock for a minute. How did we go from this to this? The fell off is crazy, and what's even crazy is that there are still some people defending it and immediately getting roasted. It's okay, man, stop the cope, we take the L, we are in the thick of it. I mean, it's very clear that I love football. I make football jokes all the time.
In the morning, I made a nice English breakfast for her.
How do you know how to cook when you support Arsenal? 'Cause they never cook.
But bro really put lock in Blue Lock. I know everyone quickly points to the studio, and while they are not completely wrong about that, the studio is obviously 100% responsible for what they are making, right 8-bit? You are starting to live up to your name, and I still don't understand how 8-bit managed to f this one up. You only make 8 freaking anime, and your favorite child is only doing Zoom meetings for 6 fucking episodes. Who made this? Is the animation team in the room with us right now? Do you send them to the Shadow Realm? How do you not have the budget to do at least some animation? We are not asking for Ufotable or MAPPA level of animation. You clearly cannot do that. You can only do half of what they did. It's not Ufotable. It's just a table. All we wanted is just a proper animation, just less CG, and you cannot do that. You just slap a PNG from Google. Now, I don't want to only make fun of Blue Lock specifically, but I am genuinely curious about this problem. I want to know how this happens. And to answer that question, we need to know how to make anime. So I did some research, and by research I mean watching 8-minute YouTube videos and watching an anime about making anime. So this is how you do your research, and I'm not going to bother you with yapping all the boring and unnecessary parts of the process, but I want to emphasize on one thing that I believe is the problem on how most anime fell off. So you think it's gonna be a joke video? Nah, I'm here to educate you, so sit down and listen. So let's say you wanna make an anime. And to make that anime, you need a team of animators. But these animators only do the hard work of drawing, and they need someone to tell them on how to animate from the source material. That's why in every team, there is this one guy called the directors. And this person is, I believe, the reason we get all of this fucking nonsense. But the directors did not work alone. And while these people also contribute a lot to making an anime, but the main director is still the brain of that show. He is the head of the football team, if that makes sense. One of the most famous directors in anime is Masaki Yuasa and Watanabe Shinichiro. Everywhere these two goes, they're always making bangers. Even though anime directors usually ties to a studio, like Masaki Yuasa with Science Saru before stepping down as their CEO. I'm gonna give another example on why the studio is not 100% responsible. Studio Durian. You never heard of this studio, but this studio managed to create a fucking masterpiece. Every inch from Look Back is an absolute perfection. It doesn't matter what studio, but Kiyotaka Oshiyama, who worked with the likes of Space Dandy and Devilman Crybaby, is the head of the director, and that explains really well why they could make a masterpiece such as Look Back. It's always the talent and the team behind the kitchen. So if you want to quickly point to the studio, you're not completely wrong, but I think you need to point specifically to the team of directors. And that is what exactly I'm gonna do with Blue Lock. Somehow they changed almost the whole team for the second season, almost for no reason. Here's the list of the team for the first season, and do you want to know how many from this team also work for the second season? 1. And this one guy, who is awfully looks a lot like Joji, is probably the most experienced from the whole team. He is a former Ghibli employee and helped make a lot of good stuff, and even working on the new Sakamoto Days and One Piece remake. But the rest of the team is not impressive. The lead director took a huge fall off, and so does for the rest of the team. And this is the problem. Uzumaki also changed the team mid-season, and the result is crazy. I don't have the most definitive answer on this, why they changed the team all of a sudden. My best guess is probably because most of these talents are working freelance, so they could have gone for another project. Or if the talent is tied working for the studio could have just prioritized for another successful anime, like in this case, 8-bit is obviously prioritized Slime Isekai since it is already super successful. But I also want to give credit where credit is due, that the second season is not as bad as people make it is. What I'm saying is that they also did a really great job at some parts of the episode, especially the part when the moment gets intense, aka when Isagi goes Super Saiyan. They actually animated really well. The clip you're seeing right now is from the second season, and if you ask me, it is actually not that bad. So I still have to give some props to the team, and as a manga reader, this is the main selling point of Blue Lock, and so far they did a really good job with it. Even though all the critics are valid, it is noticeable that there are more still frames than before, wacky animation for no reason, and a very excessive use of CG. But for some parts, these two dudes just clip all the bad parts and keep repeating it and paint as if Blue Lock is a complete failure. While it is not, even with all of the foul off from the animation and me clowning them in the beginning, I still quite enjoy the second season. And most importantly, the story of Blue Lock is quite far from over, so we still can get one more season or a movie. And hopefully they'll learn from this season, right? Stop hiring more CG directors for fuck's sake.